Weighing the market. The historical of global markets both positive and negative effects through the time. At this point, the market will be assessed through your own perspective, provided that you early had good grasp of the different concepts in economic and financial globalization. This activity will help to understand the benefits and harms of global economic process, structures, and technology. Scenario A. Agriculture is the main source of employment in your home province. The government has recently decided to develop a farmland into the real estate and inclusive subdivision in order to attract the foreign investors to the country. Positive. Attract foreign investment. A multinational tech company opens the manufacturing plant to the country, bringing in the capital and the new technologies. For example, the brand sa kuno company na mga technology, for example, ng mga cellphone like iPhone, Samsung, diba? Na yung mga diba? Na yung mga bagong gawas, diba? Nakaroon sa latest na gawas, karoon na sa cellphone, sa iPhone, iPhone 17. Magkuhan sa attract ka na kanindot ka na ato ng paliton, diba? Attract na sa mga foreign investment. Negatives. Negative. Loss of agriculture job. The reduction of the employment opportunity in the farming sectors o kana paghulog sa mga agriculturals, mga negative effects. So, ang second po yan ang food security risk, the potential threat to the vulnerability and access to the sufficient food supplies. Kung wala na yung loss of agricultural jobs na, wala na kita yung mga food security risk kanang mga sa mauuma, wala na yung tanong mga humay, mais, wala na sila, wala sa tay mapalit na yan na kung mawa na sila ang agricultural jobs. The next three is the environmental damage from land conversion. Kaya siya, for example lang na yuta na dapat tamnad na sa mga mais, humay, guba na siya kay lain naman ibutang, di naman magtanom ibutang para na mag-factory, para na mga tao lang babuy, mga na lang poultry, mga babuyan, kundi ilaw lang imina nila, magubagin na ang mga yuta na case by case. If the project include a program to retain farmers and protect food production, it can be positive for the province. It is only discipline farmers without alternatives as negatives. The positive impacts. If the project includes the program to retain the farmers and protect the food productions, it can benefit the province. Then the negative impact. If the project only disciplines farmers without providing alternatives, it's harmful as it leads to job loss and risk of security. Scenario B. You decide to franchise a new shirt through an online shop based in London. The positive. Positive. Access to global product. positive access to the global product. For example, makapalit ka sa laing lugar, kaya di ba daga naman yung mga online karon, online shopping kaya Lazada, Shopee, o karon TikTok, o na pa itsara dagan pa na muna ka mapalit og mga t-shirt ba sinina to sa London, pwede ra ka mo order na dagan na through online, hindi ka mahasol na online naman ta for technology. Sunod kay competitive price and quality. Magkuhan sila magkuhan sila mo unlock sila si mo og mga nindot na kanang mga product, kasi mga quality na sinina ayan na para makuha mga nindot yun siya na sinina nanda mo ni sila barato ra ni siya awa para makakuha kita, makatipid ka, makakuha juga dalang produkto na nindot kayo, nila kamasol at layo ana. Then support e-consumers growth. Ana makatabang sila sa tuwa ng mga patabang sila sa mga sellers, sa mga makakuha mga economic e-commerce sa pagkaan lago sa mga produkto nila. Negative, money flows out of the local economy. The capital leaves with the community, reducing local investment and economic growth. Example, the multinational companies reputate or profits and reducing local investment. A local business shut down due to the competition for cheapers. Number 2, possible exploitation of labor and production. Workers may face poor conditions, low wage, or unfair treatment during manufacturing. For example, workers in factories face long hours or long wage to unsafe conditions. Child labor or face labor used to cut costs. Then number 3, environmental cost of shipping, transportation of goods increase in emission, pollution, and ecological damage. Example, carbon emission from international shipping contribute to climate change. Oil waste and dumping harm to marine ecosystem. Case by case, if the shirt is the locally manufactured, even sold online, its help to local industry is produced abroad with poor labor practice is a negative. Choosing ethical brands can make it positive. Number 1, local production. For example, a shirt made in the Philippines by the local brand support the Filipino workers and keep money circulating locally. Number 2, production abroad with poor labor practice. A shirt producing in factory oversized with the low wage, unsafe condition and contribute to the labor exploitation. Okay. Choosing ethical brands. Brands like Patagonia or People Tree prioritize fair wage and safe working condition and sustainable materials. Scenario C. The Philippines government is the pressure to import rice from Taiwan and other neighbor countries due to the current economic crisis. The positive, number 1, solve the short-term rice shortage by filling the supplies gap. For example, increase the local supplies of the staple foods. Then number 2, stabilize food price because the increase of supply prevent price of speaking a spike. The example keeps the market price stable by the lowering product cost. Number 3, improve the trade relation by showing the country is a reliable trading partner. For example, reduce the resilience of imports, strengthening and domestic agriculture's negative. Number 1, hurting the local rice farmers' income. Farmers earn less because they can compete with a cheaper imports or lack of subsidy. Example, protect the local farmers' income by making imports more expensive and giving farmers financial support. Then number 2, increasing dependency on imports. The country relies the more foreign rice, weakening the domestic product. For example, reduce the dependency of imports as the local produce become more competitive. Number 3, risking the national food security. Reduce the local supplies makes the nation vulnerable to shortage or price spike. Example, the strength national food security by the boosting the local supply and resilience. Case by case is important to temporary and prepared with support for the local farmers. Subsidized technologies impact can be managed if the permanently replace a local production. It's harm to economy. Number 1, short-term relief. Imports supplies gaps while the local production is boosted by the subside or teach upgrade. For example, fills the short-term gap with imports. Number 2, farmers assistance, subsides or technology improve local yield, making domestic output competitive against. Example, boost the local productive via subsidies, making farmers more competitive. Number 3, economic safeguard. If import become a permanent without such support, local producers lose market shares, hurting income and food security. For example, prevent the long-term dependencies on the imports, protecting the farmers' income and food security.
Scenario D. A multi-company closes and your father loses his job unless he moves abroad. So, the positive side of this, he can keep his job if he relocates to another country. The negative of this is that risk of job loss, possible family separation, and higher living cost abroad. The case by case of this kay beneficial siya if relocation is manageable for the family, but harmful if the family cannot be moved together. Scenario E. The global financial crisis affects your mother's retirement plan, investment fund. The positive side of this, possible long-term recovery of investment. And the negative kay loss of savings and uncertain siya na about sa iyang retirement funds. The case by case of this is that investment may recover over time but the rest remain high. Depends on the market, condition. Number 2. So, I decided on each scenario by looking at both the positive and negative effect before making a financial judgment. So, we consider how the globalization help people, but also how it can create mga problems, and it focus on how each situation affects the family's job security, income and future stability.